Austin, Texas. This is Stacker News Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Stacker News Live. My name's Car. I'm with my BF. No, friend, maybe. We're friends, right?
Yeah, we're friends.
Pleb Poet.
Hey.
Is here again. It throws off my rhythm. I usually go, my
know.
BF. And then,
Well, he's here. He is here.
Is he here?
He's right
Or
there.
is he just checked out?
Well, that's a good question. Are you checked out? He's checked in.
feels
We're locked
checked. He
in.
feels checked out
We're
to me.
live.
We're live. Yeah, how's it going? How was your week? Yeah, let's start there.
Okay, I get to talk about my week. That's really special. My week was pretty solid. I just take care of plants. I've been printing a lot for the print
I saw
shop.
that. Yeah. How's that going?
We've got T-shirts coming out, tote bags coming out, canvas prints coming out, and they're all going to Germany.
Whoa.
I got to ship them to Germany next week.
Oh, for the eCash stuff.
Yeah, for Bitcoin Plus Plus.
See, there you go. And they say Car doesn't like eCash.
Do you?
We're supporting it
Yeah,
in some capacity.
that's true.
We're part of the problem.
We're
just
supporting
as much as
it.
everybody else.
We're supporting it with discussion, and that's the best way because
yeah.
you know.
No, but they came out really good.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you did a really
saw
good job
my
on
t-shirt?
the print, like you know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like
Yeah,
a printed shirt.
Yeah,
which
we got a
is
new type
crazy cool.
of material for the print that feels good, but it's not quite screen printing yet. That's where I wish we were. I think these are screen printed.
But you can't even tell though. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like you couldn't even tell.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
We'll see. I don't know. None of our like T-shirt prints that we've done have been around long enough for us to see how they do when they get washed more than a few times.
Didn't EK have a printed shirt?
He should have one from Bitcoin Plus Plus.
Somebody
in
washed
April.
their Bitcoin Plus Plus shirt and then let us know in the comments.
Yeah, please. That would be great. How was your week?
Busy.
Yes, dude.
I know. Like we're getting ready for startup day. We'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah,
But,
it's got lots of things to
Got
share.
a lot of stuff to share, but
Always.
I was on Simply Bitcoin this week. Was hanging out with Nico and Opti. That was fun. Darth Coin apparently watches that show too, which I didn't know.
Sure, staying informed.
Staying informed, and then what else? Should have another Green Candle podcast coming out next week.
Yeah.
Just living the influencer life, Jenna. I don't know how else to put it.
Isn't it a great life?
Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm not an influencer.
Actually, I was going to ask you, did you ever think you would be here?
What do you mean?
Like think back to Car, like you're an IT guy. It's like, I don't know, 10 years ago.
No, because I did want to do the whole, this is a good question. I did want to do the whole like Thriller Bitcoin. Like I always knew that I was going to do that.
Yeah, media.
I just kind of got sidetracked with Pleb Lab.
Yeah.
But, I think this just kind of goes to what I've always said is like sometimes God doesn't really, you go down a path that you think you're going down, and then God moves you to a different path that he wants you to do. And
Yep.
I'll keep doing this job until it just doesn't work, you know, which is, but I think a lot of people get value out of it. So I can understand when you look back at it, like why I got put into this position, because I think it required somebody like myself to kind of run it this way.
I mean, I feel like that's part of the faith journey is like you just got to live by faith day by day, do what you're called to do, and then maybe looking back, you'll see.
Yeah, but I definitely, if
plan.
I wasn't doing this, I'd probably just be doing like Thriller stuff, and then I'd probably still be hanging out with you guys, but I would not.
Because we're maybe friends.
Yeah, maybe friends.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Well, yeah, great question. I don't often think about that, but I do realize that it's just a part of the journey. I think the other quote I saw was, I think it was a Plato quote or something. There was like, the person who doesn't want power is the one who gets it.
Mm-hmm. This is a principle in a lot of the fantasy media I've been consuming lately.
Mm-hmm.
Like Jon Snow in Game of Thrones. He didn't want it.
Yeah, I have noticed that because I didn't want it. I still don't want it.
That's humility, though. That's the principle of humility, I think.
Yeah. Anyways, but yeah, that's been my week. Let's jump into so we're going to jump into, this is the second top story for the stackers listening at home. Well, actually, if you've never seen this crazy show before, it's called Stacker News Live. It's the most popular second most popular, third, maybe fourth most popular Bitcoin show.
Yeah.
We only talk about stuff that's reported on Stacker News. So there might be stuff on Twitter that we don't know about, but...
I want to point out that my hat lights up.
Oh, yeah. Looks cool. But this is the second top story we're going to talk about, and then we'll jump into the first top story. The second top story is I stopped smoking weed. Got to talk about it. This is alternative territory. Pleb Poet, September 12th, 48 comments, 4,854 sats. Baby girl. Pleb Poet, what is this?
Hey, it's kind of embarrassing.
Really? Why?
to be thrust out in front of all the other posts. Not embarrassing, but just like I as I usually am, a little vulnerable.
I don't see that.
No?
No, I think you come off to be, you have a very similar personality to my sister.
Yeah.
Where it's just like you're used to hanging out with older brothers and stuff like that, so you can hold your own in the room. And whenever you're talking about stuff like that, I always look at it, whenever I see a Pleb Poet post, I'm always like, man, she's able to just be so forthcoming with how she's feeling.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it, but...
Yeah. That was the whole reason for like writing about this too. I just was like, I mean, I think also, so especially if you're going to like try to stop doing something, I think the words that you give it are like powerful. So just like putting down the words like, this is how it is going to help me. Mm-hmm. Help me. Yeah. I think it helps anybody to like speak.
So tell the stackers who are listening on their podcast what this post is about.
Okay, so this is about I'm not smoking weed anymore, and it's about my relationship with weed, how it started, how it's been, and how it's been to be not smoking weed for about a week, almost 2 weeks that it's been, and it's forever, and I'm not doing it again, and I feel really good. Basically.
That's what the post is about?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's see what the top comment was. Top comment was from the Wild Hustle. Shout out Hustle. He says, it's kind of funny that way, huh? After a while, you kind of just forget about it. Quitting sugar and nicotine seem like lifelong battles, though. What do you think about that? He was kind of relating it to quitting other things.
Yeah, I know. Like sugar, I've never attempted to quit sugar, but that seems like a tough one.
That's my problem.
Because, I mean, isn't it just in things and you don't even realize?
I think it was early. I think it started at childhood because... You know, you have that cousin that's like, here, try some Coca-Cola. And you're like, what is Coca-Cola? All I drink is Kool-Aid and water.
Or you're like the family that's at the restaurant and nobody's allowed to order.
Because we would never go out to
water.
eat. Like, we would never go out to eat. My mom just made all the food. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I totally know what that sugar thing is.
I couldn't do it probably. And nicotine is one that I thankfully I've never enjoyed it. So I've never struggled with that one.
I like a good nicotine cigarette.
Are you vaping? Have you ever vaped?
No,
me
it
either.
Seems too weird for me.
It's too like
I'm
older.
Millennial.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just weird. But to each their own, you know.
Exactly.
I like a good old fashioned nicotine stick.
But like probably the lesson of this is just like whatever it is that trips you up, just getting over it is the way to go.
Anon said, I used to be very addicted about a decade ago. Anxiety caught up and really effed me up. Couldn't even take a drag of anything without feeling like I was dying. Took a long break and kept trying again. I think the thing for me personally was acknowledging that it still had power over me. Even if I wasn't smoking, I didn't like that. I gradually found that the right CBD heavy strains and induced it back. So he goes on to talk about CBD and strains. What is all that, Jen? I have no idea.
Well, so a lot of people are using cannabis to treat, I mean, it is like medicinal treatment, and he's talking about it's treating anxiety, but not, sometimes it does the opposite. Sometimes it festers anxiety, and I mentioned that sometimes it did that for me, and I'm like him, like there were times where I just had to like take a break because every time I would do it, it would just, I would have panic attacks.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's not good. So if that's, I mean, it's a weird thing. Sometimes you can really love weed, and then sometimes it can take you down that road.
Yeah, I think I smoked weed when I was a kid. My oldest brother was really into it. Him and his friends, they were like potheads and stuff. And they were really into it. But it just never took, you know?
You never tried like the gummies or nothing?
No, yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
they make
100%.
some fun
I think
products now.
me and your husband tried gummies one time before a plane trip.
Yeah.
But that was just for like jokes.
That's a good time to do it though on the plane. Although that's
go
a
ahead.
scary one with anxiety because like getting on the plane makes me anxious. And if I like add weed into the mix, it kind of just makes everything worse.
I think the whole thing about, for me, this is just car talking. I think I just never caught on. Like it just never did anything for me.
Yeah.
But
Makes
to each
sense.
their own though. Like, you know, I love drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
I try to temper myself now. So now I try to drink like once every few months or every couple of
I
months.
honestly wouldn't have even guessed that about you. I feel like you're pretty temperate and moderate about when you do
I
it.
get crazy. New Year's Eve, Jenna, that was crazy.
Well, I was not with my mind either, so
God.
I couldn't tell.
Me and Tony, we're all having a good time New Year's Eve. Thank God for Uncle Jim saving car.
How did we get home?
I don't even. I showed up back at the lab in the middle of the night. I was like, "Where's everybody?" Oh man, that was a great time.
That's funny.
But anyway, that'd be the only thing that I have like vice. That and like sugar and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But you know what, like Jenna, at the end of the day, like everybody has
Yep.
their thing. So I wouldn't. If it wasn't that, it'd have been something else for you. And no,
Yep.
it's perfect.
Yep. Yep. No, I think it's good to just like be aware of it and
Try to
I feel,
work on it.
I feel like I have a lot of agency with this choice, and so that's been really good.
Even if it comes back, don't feel bad about it.
That'll be hard. Hopefully not.
Yeah, hopefully not. But like if it does, don't get all like, oh, like go back to it. I think that the thing is like you're gonna be making mistakes over and over and over again. As long as it's just a gradual withering away, I think is fine. This is like, that's the thing. I don't think people give them, like they show other people's grace, but they don't really
Yeah.
show themselves grace very often. And
Yeah, it's tough.
I think you just kind of have to like, okay, I'm going to get rid of this one thing in my life. And then over time, slowly move towards that.
Desert Dave was kind of saying that, and he kind of inspired this conversation too because he talked about it before, but he commented on this post kind of saying what you're saying, like I had to give myself grace like a few times.
That's what I realized going to church, because I go to confession all the time. It always ends the same way, where it's like, Car, you got to do this, and it's okay if you have setbacks, and like every 2 weeks it'll be the same thing happening again, and then it'd be like another, and then I go a month, and then 2 months, and then 3 months, and then before you know it, it's completely gone.
Yeah.
And that's how you you just have to be accountable to somebody and find that person in your life that you can be accountable to. If that's your husband or the Snackers, then that's enough to, you'd be surprised, like having accountability partners or accountability people in your life that you're open with these type of things.
Yeah, that's what it's
puts
about.
you both vulnerable in a vulnerable situation. But if there's enough trust built there, that can really get you through things.
Yeah, I mean that's part of this story too. Like somebody being accountable to you, and then like it can hurt a little bit once they tell you like, hey, your logic's kind of not sound.
Yeah.
And then they tell you that you're wrong, and you're kind of like, ouch. But then you're like, oh, I'm really glad for that. That person cares about me.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think I wouldn't knock you. It's just the times. I feel like weed has gotten so
accepted, right?
Accepted,
It's been so accepted, so
normal.
normal.
It wasn't accepted like that when I was a kid.
Isn't that weird?
No, you would go to jail for that.
Exactly. Like
I don't know if you
I've
still
known
can
kids
or
too.
not, but you would go to jail for smoking weed.
But yeah, I mean, I am surprised that so many people like responded to this too. So that's what I was saying.
I think people might still be in jail just for like having like an
not.
ounce of weed. It's kind of sad, but
It definitely is.
But anyways, thanks for sharing this post. I appreciate you, being open and honest with all this stuff. And let the Stackers know where they can find you. Is it just here on?
Look what I updated my little profile here. So now all my stuff shows up.
Look at that.
Kind of in an orderly way.
Podcast episodes like
that's the Thriller.
What?
Yeah,
you
look
should
at
put
that.
SNL episodes too, so people know that you're on
that's
these
kinda true.
episodes. Yeah.
I could chop those up, clip them up.
Yeah, if no one's ever seen Jana, or I should say Popo was actually on Thriller one time, and me and her talked about all sorts of stuff. Look at that.
We love to talk about arts and crafts and our
dude.
feelings.
Totally. I love talking about that stuff.
Cool.
All right, cool.
Thanks.
No, thank you.
And thanks, Stackers. And see you next time. And here's a treat for everyone.
Oh, Keon. Whoa! What's up with the hats? What's up with the hats?
What do you mean?
There's 2 hats.
Well, we're
on
in
the show.
Texas. We wear hats here.
Plepo had
Shield
a hat.
ourselves from the sun.
You have a hat.
Plebpo tried
Where's
to have
my
a
hat?
hat. I don't
I
call
don't
that
even
hat.
have a
That's
hat.
more like a cap, I would say. This is what we call a hat here.
Wow. How was your week?
It's like giving me a facelift. It's like so tight on my head. My week was good. I believe time passed between
Every week we go through this.
the early part of the week and
See
the
what I have to
later
do with
part.
Stackers?
And then
Every
I
week.
believe the Earth spun.
How many times, Keon? How many times did it spin?
Oh, that's a good question. I think at least 5 times.
Do we know how often is it? Wait, 30 times, right? Because it's every day it spins.
Every day it spins. Within a day is a spin. No,
For
that's
one spin.
that's a revolution.
That's a revolution.
We're talking about the Earth spinning. I was talking about the Earth spinning.
Wait, the sun spins? Wait, does the sun? Wait, hang on a second.
So this, I
Hang
think
on.
you need to start smoking weed again.
That's wrong. No, hang on a second. Does the sun spin? Does it? Does it?
I think it does spin, but not like
But we're also spinning while we're going around, though.
we are
Because
spinning.
no, Earth is spinning, right?
Yes.
And then it goes around. But is the sun also spinning?
Oh my god.
See, I want to know the answer. The other day I was cleaning out the freezer, and because like glass broke, I put a Topo Chico in there and it busted, and then there was a glass already in there, and I was like, I told Austin, I was like, why did this one bust and that one didn't? He was like, well, that's carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide or carbonation, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, hang on a second. That doesn't make any sense in my small peon brain.
This is like the worst science podcast ever.
If anybody's out there, they can just drop in the comments, explain carbonation in glass and freezing, and does the sun spin?
Maybe South Korea LN knows. They're a physicist.
Oh, really? That'd
Yeah.
be great. So cool. Sounds like you had an interesting week.
Yeah. Things spun. We don't know which things, but they
I
did.
don't know what they spun. Cool. We're gonna jump into the top.
How was your week? Well, we already talked about it.
Yeah, it's just been crazy busy with Mexico City next week, and then we're trying to figure out all this other stuff behind the scenes, and there's a lot of drama this week, dude. I'll talk about it on the show. We'll get into it
cool.
later.
Let's get into some drama.
It's just
I like
I've
that.
come to realize like the longer you stay in the space, the more people you're just going to upset naturally. And I was talking to Jim about it earlier. Like you're just going to naturally upset people, and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, do you know what I mean? I think the longer you kind of, and then people just characterize you as that way, and that's just the way it is. That's what I can chalk it up to.
Yep. That's how things go. Relationships are hard.
Yeah.
That's what I always say.
Anyways, the top story of the week is mining Bitcoin off-grid on an extreme budget. This is Bitcoin mining territory, September 9th, Desert Dave. 90 comments, 16,000 sats. Baby boy, what is this? Is
Yeah.
this just on the ground?
Yeah, that's like one of
Interesting.
his like he commented on it. He's like, I just do whatever, he has like, it's also like his MVP of his mining setup where he just puts them on the ground because they work on the ground. It doesn't have any special conduit or anything as far as I understand. It's dry out there. It's probably fine. He probably just leaves the wires more.
Won't crossfire or anything, I'd imagine.
Probably not. He's probably well enough done that it doesn't do that. But he said he picked them up for $30 a piece, used, and he found this trailer out in the middle of the desert, like abandoned, and he restored it more just for mining purposes, and that's where all of his miners live. And then this is his Wi-Fi or his hotspot. Cell
Nice.
hotspot, which he then turns into he puts it into some repeater, and then it's wired.
Wait,
and then
so he just threw it out in the desert. There's like no one.
I think he owns this land.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's
it's not
smart.
like someone else's land or public land. I believe it's his land. But I believe he's out in Arizona, so pretty dry. And this is his inverter for from the solar panel. I think he also has a bunch of batteries that if there's like, excess sun, he can mine later in the day or when it's cloudy. Yeah. And yeah, it looks like a pretty clean setup and pretty awesome. I mean, basically he's, the energy he's getting for free. And so this is Bitcoin.
What
He's
is that
mining
right there?
without, with only fixed cost paid. That looks like some kind of monitor for the energy. It says capacity, amp hours. Yeah, I think maybe that's just for the battery. Looks like it's plugged in there. I don't understand electrical too well, but yeah, it's pretty awesome. I like my approach to things would be similar. I don't know if I have done enough things like this that I would apply my usual approach to things this way, but you want to start with the easiest way.
Writes everything down right there.
Oh yeah,
That's smart.
those are all of his miners, which have names. You can see them on there. One of them is named Danny. I think another one's named Nathan. Lester, I think, is one. But he has 6 S19s that he acquired, I believe, 2 years ago.
Oh, then he's running AC too?
Yeah, probably to cool them, keep them from
But-
overheating.
Does all that power come from the...
Solar panels. I mean, he has a
No
lot of
way.
solar
Really?
panels. Yeah.
How far does this go?
He has 60. He has
It
60
goes all
solar
the way
panels.
down the thing there?
I don't know. There might be more behind us from the camera's point of view.
wow.
He says he has 60 of them.
How much has he mined so far, does he say?
He didn't say how much. He might be, not.
This is cool, man.
Yeah, right?
This is really cool. Top comment was from The Real. Said, congratulations for sharing this life-changing story. BTCL Nat says, I can't but congratulate you. A sample of what Bitcoin can achieve, encouraging its adopters to look for alternatives that favor mining for the maintenance of the network. Incredible experience. Undisciplined says, I love your approach. Nothing fancy. Work with what you got.
That's right.
That's what you got to do. Keep it simple. Got Died on Titan says, a most impressive proof of work story. Take 2,000 sats. What hash rate do you achieve, and does this cover your costs? Desert Dave says, I'm pulling in about 6,000 sats a day.
Oh, there you go.
It's definitely a long-term view thing. I feel like the panels and the miner just save my savings plans. Yeah, so this is where, like, maybe you don't want to have this discussion, maybe you do, but wouldn't it just make more sense just to be on Stacker News? Try to make 6,000 sats. I mean, because if you look at Siggy, right? Like, Siggy's made a lot of sats just by focusing on written content on Stacker News or being on Nostr and making zaps, right? Some funny Nostr meme. Or, at some point, Cascader's going to launch their thing and you'll be able to earn sats passively that way. Do you think, there's so many rewards options out there. Do you think it makes more sense doing it this way or going through like a rewards type of experience on the web and earning sats?
Well, I mean, Stacker News is not passive earning. It is fairly active earning. It might be something you would ordinarily do for free. And so in that sense, it's like passive effort wise. But yeah, this is truly, passive. He sets it up. It's
On
automated.
KYC, I guess.
Yeah, the KYC aspect. I mean, we don't KYC, but
So I guess he's double dipping here. He got 16,000 sats from this post, then he's earning 6,000 sats a day. So if he posts about this every day, he could probably increase his,
yeah. Looks like you can. I don't know. It seems fun. I mean, I think I would get I've been wanting a BitX, which would, I think, just like mining in general is pretty cool.
So you think you do it for the experience and the know-how and
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah. And he's earning money. He's earning a couple of dollars a day for not much.
it's
Not
fantastic.
doing much. Yeah. There's no like free money.
He doesn't say where he's at, right?
Not exactly, but he
That's
is. He said before he's in Arizona.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Keep it quiet and, yeah.
Yeah.
The next top story, which is the third top story, is managing Lightning Wallets liquidity. This is from Darthcoin, September 10th. Bitcoin beginner's territory, 28 comments, 8,537 sats. Darth, what have you made?
Yeah. Darthcoin is just, I guess he has a friend who he introduced to Lightning and Bitcoin, and he says that he caught up with them, and they said that they weren't, or he noticed that they weren't managing their liquidity very well. And so he wrote this guide to help us think about liquidity a little better and how he would do it. I heard today that Nayuta is closing down, which is sad. The Japanese Bitcoin wallet. That the founder is sick, so prayers to him. And yeah, so this is, I love this graphic. This is how Darth recommends you set up your Bitcoin spending and saving. You have like kind of a cool storage, which is right there in the middle, where he calls cash wallets. Where you
that's cool, man.
You do all your coin control and funds management before you send them to your cold wallets, where they sit untouched for a long time. And then if you have spending, you can't see it in the graphic there, but then you do Lightning and any, I guess, on-chain spending that you do. But that's the breakdown that he has, and I think that's pretty awesome. He talks a little more about, how to maintain a channel, and like if a channel is like seriously unbalanced, you might want to close it, or you might want to rebalance it so that it doesn't get closed by your counterparty who might see it as unproductive. And yeah, other tips spread throughout here, like channel sizes, things like that.
Does he talk about how to get liquidity? Does he talk about how to open up channels? Remember, he probably has a previous guide or something like that.
Yeah, he talked a little bit in there about leasing a channel. So getting an inbound channel, several LSPs offer that as a service. But you can open your own channels, and then you can push funds out of them and give yourself inbound liquidity without having to lease them, assuming the counterparty of the channel isn't going to shut the channel down. That can be a way to get inbound liquidity too.
He said, final reminder, Lightning channels, and he has this in parentheses, private, are not for long-term stacking, are for spending. More sats flowing equals generate more fees. Routing nodes are happy, and providing good routes. Lightning is flourishing and creating slowly a Bitcoin circular economy. Top comment was from Drill. He said, you move from Substack to GitHub page for the new content. Darthcoin says, it is a backup repository open to anybody and to translators. Anybody that wants to translate can submit PRs. So go to Darthcoin's GitHub and submit your PR for translation for some
I
of
wonder
those
how
posts.
many translations he has.
Looks like he has 3 forks and 5 stars.
Imagine the translations would be somewhere. Maybe not many people are translating them, but that'd be an awesome thing to put up some bounties for. Let's see. Wait, if you go down the bottom, I think it says he has each guide. Okay, so he has a few already. Yeah, he does.
Let me see. Click on beginner. He has an English guide.
Okay, most of them are
Most
English.
of them are English, it looks like. Yeah, I would just go over there and see if there's anything that you can translate. Darth doesn't use AI, so he wouldn't be able to do that himself. You would have to help him. But yeah. The next one was from Wild Hustle. He says, great guide, Darth. How would you recommend keep tracking of balances and how much earned or spent across the wallets? I'm a little iffy on clams, but bullish on Nostr Wallet Connect for budgeting. Darthcoin says, if you're using multiple wallets accounts and use Nostr Wallet Connect, I would suggest to start testing lightning.pub plus Shock Wallet by Justin Shocknet. You could have all in one interface. It's still an early phase, but is a promising app. Yeah, Justin worked really hard on that app.
Yeah.
Very passionate about his app.
Yeah, it seems like he has a very, a pretty cool divergent opinion on
He'll be at Startup Day.
Things. Awesome.
Cool. Yeah. Great post, Darth. The fourth top story is we don't need scaling because almost no one wants self-custody. This is a Prism post from Goob. September 10th, Bitcoin territory. 72 comments, 4,523 sats. Zaps were forwarded to the InstaGibs, 50%.
Yeah, that was who the author of the tweet was that I based this post on. But I was just kind of curious because I think this is a point of view that a lot of Bitcoiners have currently. And I'm kind of curious what it actually means. So that's what I spend a little bit of time in the post.
So what does that mean for, in layman's terms, for the average pleb out there who doesn't know what scaling or self-custody means?
Oh, well, scaling means more people can use Bitcoin more cheaply. And then self-custody means that spending your Bitcoin is your choice, more or less, and it's in your possession. And you're not asking anyone for permission to spend it, or anyone to give it to you. It's yours.
So you're correlating the need for the people that, you're correlating the need, hang on a second. So you're correlating the two with scaling and self-custody and saying that no one wants scaling. The people that would have self-custody don't want scaling is what you're saying?
Well, the reason why a lot of people are like, we need more scaling is because they want to scale self-custody to more people. But if people don't want self-custody and they're okay using custodial solutions, then there's really no need to scale at all. Bitcoin as a backup, as like a backstop or like somewhere for custodians to operate on top of is good enough already.
So when I hear that, I hear like two different things there. I think definitely, Bitcoin was made for self-custody. I think that was the whole point. I could be wrong. Maybe I could have sworn it was in the white paper about self-custody.
Satoshi's vision.
Not that one.
Well, that's the
original
argument.
white paper. I didn't know if you were making a joke.
No, but that's like the
self-custody part of it was the whole point of this whole freaking endeavor. Like that's why I don't understand. Like, of course we need self-custody.
But do people want it? That's what this tweet is getting
That
at.
shouldn't matter what they want. Most people don't even know what they want. I don't even sometimes know what I want. This is what you need. It's like, did Satoshi ask everybody in the room, like, hey, you need self-custody? No, the whole point of this was to level the playing field, was to decentralize money. And so to me, it's like, do you want breakfast? Like, and then it's like, are we not going to eat breakfast? Like, when did that even become a discussion? That's how I look at it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think he's saying it would be a waste to put a lot of effort, time, and money into making breakfast if no one wants to eat it. Even if maybe they need to eat it because they're starving, but they don't want to eat it. What are you going to force feed them?
Yes,
breakfast?
you force feed them breakfast, and they can have brunch, and that'll be a thing. But you either eat your breakfast or you get brunch.
Well, I mean, isn't that worse than like
because
custody?
This is Satoshi's house that we're
people
making.
To eat?
Well, we're in Satoshi's house here. Like, he made the rules. We're just abiding by them. Like, I don't know, man. To me, I just don't see the point. Like, if we're not going to scale like self-custody, then what are we doing? We're all just LARPing.
Well, I mean, I think there's also an argument to be made that like self-custody is fine for the current amount of usage that Bitcoin currently has, and it scales fine.
Yeah.
That's another argument if you say that we need self-custody. Well, there's not demand for much Bitcoin usage that requires scaling right now is like an argument. Anyway, it's just interesting.
I've said this whole time, the whole scaling thing was just a complete cop-out, was just to drum up projects that really didn't need to be born in the first place. And I've said this multiple times, and I'll say it again. Like, there was no need to figure out the scaling problem. There was never a scaling problem to begin with because we weren't onboarding 1 billion users this year. So
we didn't need SegWit, is what you're saying?
No, I'm saying like all these L2s and the other stuff that we always talk about and joke about here on the show, like none of those needed to be funded. None of those projects needed to be funded. No one wanted to use them. No one's going to use them anytime soon. Even the ones that people are using, it's like very few. It's a small group of people that are using those things.
But I think
so that's for me, the whole point was like, it never made sense in the first place to have this argument about scaling when no one, like the people weren't there, the people weren't there. And I think Super posted a long time ago, he had a very great post on Stacker News where he talked about this. But that's where I come about on the fence of it all.
Okay.
Let's see what the Snackers say. Jimmy Song said, I said this in other places, but there's a lot of room between impersonal company holding your keys and only holding coins in a cold hardware wallet. I think that's where the sweet spot is, because InstaGibbs is more or less correct. People don't trust themselves with self-custody, but that doesn't mean they have to trust Coinbase. They can, for example, trust a tech relative. I know I'm the guy for my extended family. What we need to do is acknowledge that this reality and take advantage of it to make more scalable solutions, something like Fedi. Yeah, I don't believe that. Sorry, Jimmy. You got Omaha Q. He says, however, taking responsibility for your own funds is very different than taking responsibility for someone else's. The stakes are much higher, especially if the amounts are non-trivial. In other words, I trust myself with my own self-custody, but I wouldn't ever want to be in a position where I can lose someone else's savings. There you go. Gray Rib said, I don't agree with the tweet as a reason for not having scaling. If we don't have scaling, it should be either because changes to Bitcoin need to meet an excruciatingly high bar, and the current proposals don't meet in the eyes of the community, or scaling poses serious risk to the centralization or security of Bitcoin. Those would be the same viable reasons, in my opinion. Some people don't want fire insurance either because they may never need to use it, but they do need to use it. They are sure glad it is there. That's a good way to put it too.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else?
No, I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay. We'll move on. The next top story, the final top story, is what is the difference between permissionless and censorship resistant? This is from Scoresby, September 7th. Bitcoin territory, 40 comments, 4,666 sats. Keon, what is this?
Yeah, this is a great question by Scoresby. I think this inspired my the last post we just went over, because it's like, what are the meaning of these words? Which is kind of related. And so he's asking, what do these words mean? Are they the same thing? And are they synonymous? They're frequently used interchangeably, and but we still keep both terms around and use them in different situations. So what's the difference? And there, a lot of discussion happened.
You have the top comment. What did you say in your top comment?
I think it, from just the way I feel about it, it seems like we use the terms based on where the information is in its life cycle. So feels like permission happens very early in an information's life cycle, like information isn't accepted. It's like you're denied access to something. And then censorship resistance feels like it relates more to durability, like how long the life of the information is. I wouldn't say the person didn't give me permission to continue storing my data with them. That's kind of a weird thing to say. You would say you would prefer to say they censored my data, they removed it. And so I don't know. That's my interpretation. In Bitcoin, though, they're like the same thing, because once you are permitted into a block, it's there always, and it's increasingly there always as more and more blocks get mined.
I mean, this is a timely post. It kind of just shows the state of Bitcoin Twitter that we're in, where things are getting kind of lumped into the same categories. You're seeing things that are fully custodial be called decentralized. You're seeing things that are decentralized called custodial. There's just so many things that you just see out there in the space now where you can't even tell one thing from another. It reminds me very much of 2017 all over again, quite frankly. So it's good to see. Hand to Mouth said no KYC equals permissionless, no Monterey equals censorship resistant. But I think just in general, Bitcoin always just had. We were at ABDC like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, and we're trying to figure out what exactly is a key and what exactly is a vault and all that kind of stuff. So I just think in general, there's always this kind of like dictionary game that we're playing with some of these terms. Darthcoin says, saying that something is illegal is not an argument against that thing. It is an appeal to authority. Laws are arbitrary judgment made by whoever has political power at the time. Laws aren't, yeah. So it goes on about the law. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right. That's all the top 5 stories of the week. We're going to jump into my favorite segment of the show, Keon's posts. This is your story right here, 66-bit puzzle.
Yeah, that's just shared today by Null Count. I guess, I don't know, it was a few years ago. No, it says many years ago there, but someone released, I think it's like 160 low entropy Bitcoin addresses holding Bitcoin, and I think they have increasing amounts of entropy. And someone cracked the private key that had 66 bits of entropy, but then they went to go spend it, and it looks like a couple of bots that watch the mempool to look for low entropy private keys saw this transaction, found the private key themselves, and spent it to themselves. Anyway, I just thought that was really cool. I hadn't seen these puzzles before. Maybe I had, but I didn't remember them. And yeah, looks like you run them on those bots on GPUs, and you just watch the mempool looking to steal money.
So there's more puzzles going on. It's just not just one puzzle.
No, whoever set up these puzzles, they set up several of them, and this was just one of them. I think the one with the highest entropy was the one that was solved today.
Wow, where did this come from?
Someone did it many years ago, and then people. Nullcount says it in their posts, but people started sending more Bitcoin over the years to these addresses, sweetening the reward for them. And so this one that got solved today, I think it had 6.6 Bitcoin on it.
Wow, dude. I had no idea these even existed. That's super cool.
Yeah, and I think there are even like puzzle pools where people pool their
resources.
Resources together to try to solve these.
That's really cool. This kind of reminds me of what's that movie? The with the AI thing, or not the AI? The gosh, what's the name of that movie? Which one? No. Where that guy leaves all the whoever wins or whoever wins the puzzle gets the entire network or something. Ready Player One.
Oh, yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Huh? She said
Gone Girl.
She said $1 Million Baby.
What is? I don't even know what
It's the one with Clint Eastwood and that lady fighter. That was a good movie though. I don't know why. Why did he train her for? I don't remember either.
I don't know.
I think it was his daughter. I think that's what it was. Do you think Satoshi did that with his Bitcoin? Left the puzzle?
No. I think he just walked away, or probably.
That would be cool if he did leave a puzzle.
It would be cool. Maybe someone will.
Maybe he did, and we just never found out if he, or maybe he didn't. Who knows?
Yeah.
I'm sure they could tell in the transaction, but cool. Are you gonna start playing puzzles now?
Nope. I have other things I would like to do, but it seems like a fun thing to do.
What is this flow that we're seeing here? What is that?
Those are
all the outputs.
The Bitcoin got sent to one output there, and those are all the inputs probably over the years that sent a little bit of Bitcoin to it. Wow. That's what I believe, at least, depending on which link you clicked.
Nice. Your next one was
then that got replaced by the bots.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway,
what's your next one here?
Oh yeah, this was Undisciplined shared this, and he basically walks us through generating a Stacker News personality profile based on our metrics, like our lifetime metrics on the site, and you can put yourself on his graph there, and he himself falls in the miser and troll quadrant. I think I would probably fall in the troll and reckless quadrant if I were to do it, but that's my rough calculation. But a bunch of stackers place themselves in the graph, and a lot of people are miser trolls. They comment, and they've earned more than they've spent.
It's funny, everybody left there, and they left the other person in there. 0x Bitcoiner. Troll, miser. What does miser mean again?
It means you've earned more than you've spent.
Oh. That's funny.
Yeah, percent, like your percent. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Plebpoet said it's a really interesting metric in general for Stacker News users. What is that?
They drew themselves right in the center.
I was like, that looks like ketchup.
Maybe they did. Maybe that's how they did it. Maybe it's blood.
We got Undisciplined with a meme. Cool. So on the screen, if you can see this, somebody put Darth Coin like way at the bottom.
Yeah, super troll miser is what
No,
they're
he
saying.
gives great comments to me.
No, the troll isn't whether your comments are great or not.
Oh,
right?
okay.
It's about whether you comment more than you post. If you post more than you comment, you're a spammer on this. I mean, there is no positive quadrant in this.
It's not up to the, it's not up
test.
to the right. No,
Up into the no, then you're a miser, a spammer.
yeah.
You don't want to be that either.
I don't know. Where would you be on this?
I already said at the beginning. I said I would be a reckless troll. That would be my quadrant. I'm where 117 is, probably more reckless and more troll-like, I would
I
guess.
feel like I'm like somewhere where, yeah.
Very few people,
Yeah.
very few people who commented, which isn't surprising, are not majority, don't post more than they comment.
Yeah, I
They
feel like
comment more.
most spammers on, at least I have turned off Wild West mode, so I don't see that much spam anymore.
There's also a filter now, and you have to spend a certain amount of sats to be seen.
Cool. We're gonna jump into my post this week. The first one was MicroStrategy acquires 18,000 Bitcoin and achieves yield. I don't know if you saw this, but
How are they earning yield? I didn't even look at this yet today.
I didn't look at it either. I just see the headline and then click on it.
Where are they getting yield from? I have to go into the comments and look. But
Let's see
I'm
what-
sure someone figured it out.
South Korea Lightning said, "I can't predict the future, but I would not be surprised if one day this blows up badly." I don't see how could it though. I guess if Coinbase like rugs them.
I don't know. I mean, it could be a number of things, but, Black Swan type.
Only
Yeah.
Sailor holds the keys, maybe.
No,
No, I guess it would be Coinbase. So
yeah, it doesn't hold the keys.
yeah, I guess if Coinbase, yeah, like I think that's what Alex Pitt says here. He goes, "Yep, I believe Coinbase will blow up in the future." So, oh wow, what if that is the case? What if he is doing this and then like it just builds a big enough supply and then it just blows it? Well, I guess it's good for everybody else. Darth Coin says, I don't know what he says. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot of Bitcoin.
That is a lot of Bitcoin. 250,000 Bitcoin, bro.
Well, I was saying just the 18,000. Like that's a lot of Bitcoin.
I mean, that's a lot on its own, but they hold even more. That's just a crazy amount.
maybe he's lending out the Bitcoin.
I mean, that would be the traditional way to earn yield unless they're running a serious Lightning node.
So maybe he's holding the vast majority of. I wonder how much Bitcoin Coinbase has. They've shared that before, right? That's public data.
I think so. I think they have to do it in a filing, and I think they hold something like 3% or something of the.
The total supply.
Yeah, it's a lot. They have a lot. They have like I think over 1 million Bitcoin.
Yeah. Let's just hope that MicroStrategy's Bitcoin is not a hot wallet.
It's
Coinbase.
definitely not. It's probably in some corporate Coinbase thing, like all the ETFs.
The other thing I wanted to point out was actually let's do this one first. Neither Elon Musk nor anybody else will ever colonize Mars. This is a post that I saw a while ago before getting ready for the show. I love to crap on Elon Musk any chance I get.
Why do you
But
think that is?
I think there's just a lot of things that he promises that just never happen. I feel like the Mars one is definitely like the highest on the bar, where he's been saying this since I was a kid. Like I remember we were supposed to be at Mars already.
Since you were a kid, he wasn't even doing space stuff.
No, like in 2007, I want to say he promised us Mars launch by then, because I think he started SpaceX around that time. But this is where like I just kind of see it over and over, and it just keeps getting pushed back. I don't know, and it never really made sense to me. Like, why are we going to Mars for like in the first place? Why not conquer the moon or deep sea ocean or something?
Moon's not very big, so that's
The ocean, maybe the ocean.
the ocean would be cool, but that has its own challenges. And if Earth, blows up and people, Earth is bad, then the oceans probably aren't going to be safe either. But Mars is pretty far away. So if we can colonize Mars.
What did you say about the moon? You said no on the moon?
It's small. It's very small. There's not a whole lot of gravity. You couldn't live there.
So you're on board with going to Mars?
Yeah, for sure. Why not? Someone wants to go. Why not go? Dude,
It's hard to take you seriously with that hat on.
Dude, what are you talking about? Just getting no respect.
I feel like we're
I have
switching.
the biggest hat in
I
this
feel
room.
like we're switching roles this episode,
Probably.
which is not good.
I'm a little loopy.
You're a little loopy. So you're bullish on Mars then? You're bullish on Elon going to Mars? So basically, are you bullish on Elon going to Mars?
I mean, I just think people who try to poo-poo on Elon are like, oh, his cars are like more expensive than he said, and he built a car company at all. And they're
no, I'm talking about Mars. Just talking about Mars.
But still,
and
no.
SpaceX.
Yeah, they're killing it, dude. They put more.
Oh no, I know they're killing it, but there's no way he's gonna be able to make it to Mars, dude.
I don't know. I didn't read that post. I didn't read the arguments, but I just think anyone who says that things can't be done are just given enough time are going to be proven wrong. So
Don't see.
that's why I don't.
Maybe his son will do it. I don't see him doing it in his lifetime.
I don't know, dude. They got these robots are getting pretty good. He's working on Neuralink. He's probably going to upload his consciousness. And you were telling me the other day, maybe he'll just transfer his consciousness through energy.
Oh, yeah. See, the Neuralink thing would be interesting.
Yeah.
But now the colonizing Mars, I'm like, I don't really think that's going to happen, at least in my lifetime. I don't think it's going to happen in his lifetime either. There's just no way.
I don't think
I can
there's
see
no
him
way.
doing moon missions for NASA. And I think that's all because NASA's just dropping the ball. So it's probably not a high mark there, but I just do not see Mars happening. I hope I'm wrong. I would love to see that. I just don't think it's happening.
I never say, that never say never. I don't like to do that. And I don't like to make predictions that things won't happen in certain times.
So you're bullish on him making it Mars?
Bullish is not the right word.
So you think that he'll hit Mars before you die? He'll get to Mars.
No, I'm not predicting anything. I'm just saying.
Oh, so you don't want to even have this?
I just wouldn't say it wouldn't. I don't know what the point of it is. It's just I want to be.
It's good podcast banter. That's the point of it.
I want a chance of being wrong. I'm going to say he's not going to do it. I was who's going to give you points when you're right?
It's called entertainment. This is a podcast, Keon. You're supposed to.
I don't understand entertainment, I guess.
Yeah. Battalion said, first I would think about colonizing the moon and then would think about Mars. It is well known that if a base is established on the moon, it would be easier to send ships to other places in the system. TN Stacker says the current NASA and apparently Chinese plans include tests, refuel, and construction on the moon. Oh, and then Mars. Someone will have a human back on the moon before the decade ends. Probably China. Wow, I didn't know that. And Discipline says before that, they should think about much easier the oceans or the Arctic. Yeah, there you go.
They start a ocean company with Undisciplined. You guys can go to the ocean. Prove Elon Musk's wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, thought it was a good post.
Yeah.
Stackers, let us know in the comments. What do you think? Maybe that'll be my Sunday survey, because last Sunday survey I dropped this Earth Shaker. Do audiobooks count as reading? Turns out Carl was right.
Don't.
Well, Stackers, 55% agreed no with Keon. 35% agreed with me. And then 8% agreed on neither of us. But I think Super Testament said it best. He says, I vote yes on the ground that I do not always use terms literally. Listening to a book is not literally reading a book, but is close enough to use the same term in most contexts. And in rare circumstances when the distinction really matters, you can clarify. Also, I think the whole thread is so far, is this me? Well, yes, but actually no.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, I think it's worth discussing. But yeah, it depends on what you mean by
I love what
reading.
Jimmy said, because Jimmy says half the time when I'm reading, it's verbalized in my head as if it were an audiobook. That's interesting, Keon.
Yeah, but it's not like that at all. I would imagine it doesn't land. I mean, I
Yeah,
think
he
that-
said it does. He goes, either I'm skipping because I don't find it interesting, processing new ideas, but I'm reading without verbalizing for some reason.
I think it's because you're absorbing at a higher rate. I mean, I think they've done studies on this, that if you verbalize while you're reading, you actually read slower. And you should not do that.
Verbalize?
Yeah, you should not verbalize it if you want to go faster.
Yeah. What I said in the comments, I actually listen to books the same way I listen to records, right? That's just all I do. I don't try to do more than just that. Like I don't double. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, but
Multitask.
Yeah, but if you're only just sitting there listening to an audiobook, why not read the words? Why not read?
So you can imagine what's going on.
You can't, but you can imagine while you're reading the text
No, I
too.
can't.
Okay.
I'm super slow like that.
I think you could, but it is more effort. But I think that's part of why I think reading is different, is because there's like a cliff that you have to get with like concentration, and once you're there though, you're absorbing a lot more of the content.
I'm just gonna start saying I listened to this book.
I think that's more, isn't that more accurate at least? Like maybe
I mean culturally I'm gonna start moving in that direction. People ask me like,
Culturally.
did you read that book? I'm like, no, I listened to it though.
yeah, that's right. Correct them like that.
Just gonna start doing it. We'll shift it. Anyways, and then the last thing I want to share was Dignation. Keon, they're coming for your job.
Oh my God, they look so old, don't they?
No,
I watched I think I watched an earlier one of them, I don't know, maybe like a year ago. And then I watched this one and I'm like, oh my God, they're so old.
they're so old and so rich.
Relative to what they were before. Obviously in an absolute.
Wumbo posted this on Sunday, I think. He said SNL always reminded him of this show. That's weird. It doesn't remind me of the show at all. Keon, did you see this? You didn't comment on it. What do you think?
Saw it. I zapped it.
Would you feel weird talking to him? Because you kind of have a similar site to him, similar show to him, but you're not him.
No. Who?
Kevin Rose.
Oh, Kevin Rose. Would I feel weird talking to him because my show resembles his show?
Plus your site a little bit.
No, I wouldn't feel weird.
What would you tell him?
Assuming it
What would
was
you ask
normal.
him? Would you ask him a show? Ask him anything? He's watching this right now.
Not really. No, I don't think so.
You wouldn't ask him any like dig questions or anything?
Probably not. I don't know what I would ask him. Maybe if I was, maybe. I think he's onto other things. He's been thinking primarily about other things. And so if I was going to ask him about stuff, maybe that's what I'd ask him about. He's really into wine.
Yeah, I'd love to meet those guys. I always was a big fan of them as a kid growing up.
Yeah, they're a good pair.
Alex Albrecht is hilarious. He's just funny. I used to watch him on the Totally Rad show too. He was great.
Yeah, he is a fun guy, it seems like.
Cool. That's all the stories this week. We're going to jump into the top stackers. The top stackers of the week is... wait, hang on. Where is it at? Stackers. Top stackers of the week is... Hiding. Coins Reporter.
Coins Reporter, second place.
Who's from India, turns out.
Indeed, they are. Undisciplined.
Coob. Grey Ruby. Darth Coin making moves.
Another stacker in hiding.
EK. Where you been, buddy?
Sakan Wahalok.
Tom K. And then, Blood Poet made it a number 16 this week.
Wow.
Did. Oh, so you're dropping off.
Booted.
RSync 25 still. It's hard to compete with these stackers. We're going to jump into the most popular segment in Bitcoin. The most popular segment in Bitcoin. The cowboy segment. Keon, maybe this is where you should wear the hat. You put on the hat during the cowboy segment.
I think I'm just going to wear it all the time now.
I hope not.
At the Bitcoin conference this year, they were giving out yellow hats as that said make Bitcoin great again on them or something. Felt like total sabotage because before this, I was the only yellow hat in Bitcoin.
Wait, what do you mean? They came out, they did yellow hats at the Bitcoin conference?
They did.
They didn't.
Okay.
What did it look like?
You're right. I'm a liar. I don't.
No,
what
is I mean it like a reactionary. No, they didn't. Like, what did they do? How did they, what?
They were giving out hats that said "Make Bitcoin Great Again" that were yellow. They were yellow hats. And I was normally I go around a conference and I'm looking for yellow hats.
Well, I will say this in your defense.
Okay.
They're known to steal ideas from the plebs.
I think it was that. I don't think it was a stolen idea, but I'm just saying it ruined my like heuristic for trying to find people I know, which is looking for yellow hats. So I couldn't do it. So now I need to up my game.
So you're going with a bigger yellow hat.
I think this might be it.
No one's going to wear that.
That's my goal. That's what my aspiration.
I don't like the hat.
Why not?
It just throws off the show. Yeah, I think that's why I don't like it. I like taking all the screen. Plus, it's covering up the
It feels interesting. It's a little tight, but I probably just need to stretch it out.
Did you fix the taping on it though?
No, the fabric tape. The logo is on there crappy.
You should get Plebpo to fix it for you.
I need to get.
She is a print master.
Someone made it. They like sent it to me with it on
Yeah.
it, but they didn't glue it well. Just need some fabric glue or foam glue or whatever.
So are you going to sell those? Is that what you're selling these cowboy hats?
I might sell them eventually if I can get a good production version of it. This is like, this is an experimental.
You would sell those? So wait, hang on.
I would sell
So you
them.
are serious about this whole Bitcoin magazine taking your thunder?
Wait, no, but I would sell these hats. I think they're awesome.
But this is a reactionary response to David Bailey's Bitcoin magazine stealing your thunder.
It's not a response at all, but
David Bailey, if you're watching this, I know you are. This is a reaction to you stealing the Stacker News yellow hat. Try to compete.
okay. But yeah.
How much are you thinking you sell these for? 50?
Whatever I sell them at cost. So whatever the cost of making them it will be, I'll sell them at. I might give them out as like prizes. We have some stackers who have crossed like 365 days with a cowboy hat,
And you get a free banana.
and I'll send them a cowboy hat and a banana because Car's going to provide bananas for that. And so we'll send you a box with a banana hat in it.
There you go. Banana hat at that. What else do you need?
I don't know. Something else.
Cool. Let's see them copy that. Try to copy that, David Bailey.
Yeah.
Bitcoin magazine.
Good luck getting people to wear this.
Good luck
thing.
getting people to wear that. Try to fit those words. Make America.
Make Bitcoin great again. Try to fit it on
Try
this
to fit
hat.
that
Try
on
to
that
get the
hat.
right
Good luck
glue.
with that.
They don't have it where I bought them.
Yeah, they don't know that. Yellow isn't just a color. Yeah, that's true.
No, I think if I like really put it down on my head, it'd probably be pretty
See,
good.
that
And
looks
I'd probably
way
flop
that looks funnier.
back instead. Probably performs
I still-
great in weather.
I still think you should make I still hope you make like a. I told you this a long time ago, but it'd be cool to have like a long sleeve black shirt with like the lightning bolts on the side. Remember I was telling you? That would be cool. Like a Stacker News, just like logo here and then just black lightning bolts. Really? Oh wow, would love that. But yeah, I've always wanted that shirt. Anyways. Yeah, most popular segment in Bitcoin, the cowboy segment.
That's right.
Let's jump into, and I think that's it.
Oh,
That's
Nifty
all.
said something funny. We were about this hat. She said it's 10 gallons out of 10. Or 10 out of 10 gallons. Or
Wait,
something
is it
like
a
that.
10-gallon hat?
I think, I don't know. I'm not from here.
See, there
I
you go.
just wear the
You're
hats.
giving
I
up
don't
too much
make 'em.
information, so Bitcoin Magazine copy this hat design.
Please
Now-
copy it.
Now they're going to look for a 10-gallon hat now.
I don't think they copied it. But
Who else has a
They
yellow
could
hat in
copy it.
Bitcoin? There's no one else has a yellow hat in Bitcoin.
yeah, but that's maybe maybe they had the same thinking I did. Or they're like, this isn't. They're like, orange is lame. There's too many orange hats.
Yeah.
We need a yellow one. You have an orange hat?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well,
party
I
hat.
wasn't talking. That's a cool hat because it has sequins on it,
Oh,
and it's like for a party.
let me pull up.
Oh, really? Oh, I thought it was someone's
That's
bachelorette
Uncle
party.
Jim's party hat.
Nope. It's Uncle Jim's?
Yeah, when he parties on 6.
What kind of party's he going to?
Apparently bachelorette parties. We got...
It's the only kind of party to go to.
we had some comments. I think the fountain is not displaying the... I can't see the comments anymore on here. Hang on, let me click here and click activity. Yeah, for some reason, maybe if Oscar, if you're listening, for some reason I can't get to activity anymore and see comments on... but it's probably going to get fixed here. I'm on Graphene, so it could be a Graphene issue. Cool. Keon, we got comments. Let's read the comments from the crowd. Whoa, fake. Stay in your lane, car. I'll be watching you.
Dude.
Whoa.
Shots fired.
Wow.
What are you going to do about that? You're gonna,
Hey, man. I stayed in my lane this episode.
Do you feel like you did?
What? I mean, was there something like, here, let's have this question?
I don't know. I feel like we hit some of those bumps. You know those bumps you hit? They like make that noise.
Tell me. Let me. I want to be better. Tell me, Vic, where did I stay in my lane?
I don't know.
Was it the technical stuff?
one.
You think? I think I was right on the self-sovereignty thing.
Let's talk about Mars.
Oh, on the Mars thing. Yeah.
I mean, we were debating whether the sun spins and whether the Earth spins and what it all means. And we're
yeah.
talking about, now we're making conclusions about what's
I
going to
just
happen on
assume the
Mars.
Bitcoin stuff is usually where differentiate. But yeah, thanks, Vic. I appreciate your sats every week. Keep zapping us.
Zap them.
Zap them. You got fam too because it was a still day this side. I would like to watch the live face. Wait, what? Oh, Coins Reporter said, "Hi, Car. Hi, Pleb Poet."
Hello, Coins Reporter.
There you
Coins
go, you
Reporter
got
stays
fan.
up super late to
Got
watch
fans.
this.
Level 99 said, "Fail, Mr. Wizard." Oh, look, we got Ted. We got Ted. Look, perfect.
Oh,
Thank you.
wow.
Thank you, Ted. He said, "Sun spins unevenly 24 days at equator, 30 days at poles." Wait, what does that mean, Keon?
That means it takes 30 days, I guess, for the sun to spin a full revolution at the poles and 24 days at the equator. It's because
What does that mean, though?
because the sun is not solid. The equator is spinning faster. So, like, do you see
Because
what I'm?
it's flaring out?
No, it's because it's just like a property of things that spin. Like if I had a string and I like whipped it in like a circle, the string in my hand would be moving really slow, but the string on the outside would be moving really fast because like the string in my hand didn't move very far, but the string on the outside moved.
Yeah, you're low. You lost.
did
it.
I?
Yeah, you
Oh.
lost. it. Yeah, we're really low.
It's
We're really low IQ.
It's called
Somebody should like.
centrifugal force.
How do you know
That's-
this?
I took physics in college. I mean, you guys were debating the stuff, and I was saying stuff, but you guys weren't listening. So
I totally skipped the whole.
I didn't get a degree
Totally
in physics.
I know, but it sounds like you did. Jeez.
I know the name of force. That's not. It's like a misnomer for a force.
Gee,
Anyway,
look at you.
Whatever.
Wow. Dang, my friend here knows all about the equator.
That's right. What?
And the sun-
What do you think's under this hat, dude?
Apparently, Ted, if you're out there, thanks for the information. It's apparently that like key to Keon's response.
Oh, where the?
Wait, what did you? Well, here, talk.
Yeah.
What did you say? Come over on this side and just say it. Hang on, Pleb Poet's gonna give us a different answer.
Maybe I actually just didn't listen to you, but
That's
if
what it
the
says right there.
yeah, so 24 days. So
Come in the picture.
so when the sun is at, where are you at? When the sun is at the equator, is that what that's about?
No, when the sun itself has an equator.
Oh,
Yeah.
but it always has an equator and it always has poles. So how would they be different on different?
They're spinning at different speeds.
Okay.
Is what he's saying.
Okay,
And
so-
so a full revolution at the equator takes 30 days, and a full revolution at the poles
Yeah.
only takes 24.
Right.
So what is he saying? Like all of this
Yeah, at the equator, it's
Because there's more mass there, it takes more time.
to spin.
Yeah.
But why does the outside spin then?
Oh, you
faster?
gotta go.
Why does the outside spin faster then?
it's because it's at the edge. But
This
it should.
is
But
fascinating, dude. I'm gonna go home and dive into like the sun and how it spins.
I think it's because of it's just inertia. Like I think the equator has more inertia in this case, so it keeps spinning faster.
this whole time. Dude, I've lately, like as you get older, Janet, you start realizing there's stuff that you just didn't realize. And you're just like, now I understand like why my like grandma growing up and my mom were like, really, mijo? I'm like, yeah, mom, this whole time. You just get old and you just don't, things you don't pick up. This whole time, Coob.
It's like the live action Dora Explorer. The male version as an adult.
Gorilla Bitcoin mining. Level 99 said he had some years ago that wants to create a Bitcoin bank.
Who had some years ago?
I think he's talking about Staler.
Oh.
Let it be known Kuba's barefoot.
Oh.
There you are.
Docs.
Also Mars in 2 years. Oh.
Heck yeah. See? Ted is
we should
bullish.
probably have Ted on the...
Talk about Mars.
to talk about Mars. He knows a lot about SpaceX.
He does.
I probably hurt his feelings about the whole Elon thing, but he knows. Does he? No. And then he says Jupiter
Oh.
spins unevenly too, I think.
Yeah, I think it's gaseous.
Interesting.
Yeah. Not solid.
Well, Stackers, y'all have a great weekend. Keon, what do you do this weekend?
what am I doing? I might set up my graphene
Oh,
phone.
nice.
I got a new Pixel. I need to
Nice.
set it up. So I might do that. I might
Should,
not.
dude.
I might work instead. It depends on what feels better.
These are some of the things that I have on here. I don't know if you want to see my.
I mean, I'm familiar with apps and downloading them.
The Zap.store is a good app store.
Yeah, I've been wanting to check that out. Fran's app.
F-Droid,
made that.
Aurora Store. You can get some of the Google Play stuff if you want on there, like Audible. Like I have Audible because I listen to books. You can get
That's
that
right.
on there running.
Good job.
If you find an older version. So there's some stuff that you can get running if you get older versions of it.
I don't really do a whole lot on my phone. I do Stacker News. I do.
Well, I have Stacker News on here
I
too.
do a web browser.
See? Stacker
I
News.
do podcasts.
Stacker News.
That's really it. I don't really do anything else.
Yeah. Amethyst.
I'll probably need Amethyst instead of
And
Damus.
then, also make sure you get a VPN and Orbot installed. Like, see how I have all my VPN and Orbots, like, right there. And then you can just be running Tor all the time, which is awesome.
Dude,
So I'm telling you, like, I after, like, going to graphene, I realized it's, like, I wouldn't go back to iPhone.
you're a real cypherpunk.
No, but I'm saying, like, there's just other features that work for me that I just wouldn't go back to the iPhone now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I just think the hardware, Apple's hardware is like 10 years ahead. I don't,
Yeah, always. But
it sucks hard. Like, it sucks so hard that people can't catch up because it keeps their monopoly strong. I wish someone would break them up a little bit.
I don't know. This is where I kind of think like we're moving into that future where you're just going to see divergent paths, and it's kind of like Blade Runner, where you just have a lot of these hackers just making their own type of thing and doing their own kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, and worse hardware isn't that bad. I mean, like, it's not like the hardware is bad. It's just like the final form.
Like this too. Like
isn't-
this is the card computer
Yeah,
stuff.
like
It's like
that's-
all that stuff is fun and it's super inexpensive.
Yeah, yeah. It doesn't need to be.
Yeah, I don't think we need. I mean, I'm
Super.
biased, but I don't think you need like all the bells and whistles of an iPhone anymore. Like almost any graph or any Pixel has like a decent camera if that's what you
Yeah,
really
it's
want.
probably mostly about the software and how well the software runs, rather than like how well the hardware feels in your hand.
Software runs really good.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I would say too, it also helps you just maintain being in the real world. That was the thing that I
Less
recognized.
addicting, you mean?
Yeah, 100% less addicting than an iPhone, because you're literally on there to complete task. Like it. That the other thing I think.
But that's more a function of like I think if you had a normal Android on your phone, it probably would be just as addicting as an iPhone, right?
Probably,
So
yeah.
not part of the hardware.
Yeah.
What are you
probably.
doing this weekend?
Oh, I gotta go to So I went on that thing last week, dude, for church, and dude, there's a big like, gosh, like we're switching gears here really fast, but maybe we shouldn't talk about it on the show. But dude, there's a lot of like sexual abuse going on, and just in the world, not just in church, and you know what I mean. Like it's everywhere, and it was weird being in that room with all these people. Talking about every type of person you can think of. And like not everybody shared, but you could if you wanted to. And that was the shocking thing for me, was seeing how many people were affected. And so there was like different methods they told you. Like if you see something, say something. If you like watch out for these clues and that kind of stuff. What I loved about it, a lot of it just wasn't like finger pointing the men in the room, basically. It was like everybody and women chimed in and stuff like that. But it felt very like therapeutic because it was stuff that you necessarily don't talk about in public.
Yeah.
but we were talking about it, which I found completely fascinating because I've never been in probably since health class in high school was the last time we had a conversation about that.
Oh, okay. So it was it was a bit of like a support group for people.
No, I had to attend it for my retreat thing. Like if you're going to volunteer, you have to go through like a
I see.
hardcore
It's
class.
training.
Of,
I see.
you get like a background
cool.
check and everything in order to.
Yeah. And they're teaching you how to, if someone else is doing that, what you might.
Like what you do and like how you report it and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's really common, sexual abuse.
Yeah, that was the most surprising thing. But this week I'm gonna go to church because I gotta. We're gonna start recruiting for the retreat, so got to do that, and then tomorrow, got to get everything ready here for our trip next week. But yeah.
Yeah, it's a startup day, Mexico City.
Oh yeah, let me share that real quick. So since
Chill time.
we didn't share this the last time, thank you for reminding me. But yeah, so we're doing Startup Day in Mexico City. It's happening on the 20th. It's going to be in Francisco's keynote speaker. He's had a journey.
Wow.
If there's anybody's journey you should listen to, it's going to be just as good as Andre's journey from the March event that we threw. There'll be some announcements, builders there, but we have the full schedule out right now. You can go take a look at it. But the interesting thing is we're going to do it at this place called Casa Lam in Roma Norte.
That looks romantic.
It's very romantic. But as you can see here, like, dude, it's a beautiful place.
Wow, look at that courtyard.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of sun. We have Johnny going to be coming with us too, so he'll be making us a spread. But look, isn't that really cool?
Oh, yeah, that's nice. It's kind of got all those sconces and stuff. That's nice.
Yeah, there's even like an art place to it too. And it's going to be in Roma Norte, so it's like a really safe like town area of the thing. There's also going to be the block party that evening, so at the same place there'll be an event probably in the courtyard, most likely. Yeah, if you're in the area, you should come out. We got tickets still available, just here. And then we're probably we're going to see if we can get it live streamed on Pleb TV.
Ooh, cool.
We're controlling the full end-to-end experience. Isn't that cool?
Dude, self-sovereign conference.
Literally. Because now we can live stream it on Pleb TV, and it's kind of cool. I think it's interesting. Anyways,
It is interesting. It's cool. It looks amazing. Looks like it'd be a lot of fun.
Keon, you coming?
I don't know. I probably not, but maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll wake up one day.
It's Friday. I mean, it literally is just Friday. I mean, how cool would it be if we did a live Stacker News with that hat and me in a mariachi outfit?
I don't know if they'd let me on the plane with this hat. I'd have to get like a
It's
first
just
class
Friday.
seat for this hat.
But yeah, I think next week, I mean, depending on if Keon comes or not, but for the Stackers who are listening, Coins Reporter, you're a big fan. We'll figure out how to do it. We'll have internet and stuff, but I'll have to go find a spot somewhere after 5 o'clock and then go record it. So it's going to be a late Stacker News live next week. Then I'll try to bring on some guests.
Oh, cool. I don't even know the guests. Secret guests.
That we'll say. Cool. I think that's all I got. You got anything else?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think that's it. Zap, y'all.